Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Today we'll be discussing something that I find very interesting using a multitude of information, sources, and general theorization. We're going to try and predict or kind of guess what Blizzard's next new game will be. Not only their next game, but maybe just multiple projects that they're working on as they are a big company. Now just keep in mind I do emphasize new because we obviously know about the upcoming World of Warcraft Classic, Warcraft 3, but we're specifically talking about a whole new IP, or maybe something that could be related to Overwatch or an entire new universe. In general, I think it'll be a fun discussion, and I hope you guys do enjoy it. Now, a lot of people actually predicted, or more so expected, an announcement for a new IP to be revealed last BlizzCon, but unfortunately that just didn't happen. So instead we're going to have a look towards this coming November of 2019 for BlizzCon, and hopefully there'll be something a lot more juicy, fingers crossed, though I honestly think there'll be a lot of exciting things. Anyways, if you guys do enjoy the video, then why not hit the like button, subscribe for some future content, and let's just dive straight into this. So the first thing I want to discuss is one that we have the most evidence for, since it seems the most fit to do so. Everything else in this video, except for this very first point, is really just all theory, speculation, and a lot of opinion. However, this first point I want to discuss is definitely something that we should all take a little bit more seriously, as it comes from a leak and sources that are backed by Blizzard themselves. The first and biggest thing that is likely to happen is that Blizzard is actually working on a new mobile MMO RTS game. For those who don't know, a real-time strategy game are games such as Age of Empires or StarCraft. Heck, Blizzard is even dropping the reforged version of Warcraft 3 in 2019, as we mentioned earlier. So it's not unlikely that Blizzard wants to create a mobile version of some sorts. We've already seen Blizzard try to break deeper into the mobile market after Hearthstone's radical success, but the biggest indicator of all this was actually the announcement of Diablo Immortal. We also know that hasn't really been received very well either.
Hey, just was wondering, is this an out-of-season April Fool's joke?
But it doesn't mean that this will stop Blizzard from trying again. And you might be wondering, how could I be so certain of this? And it's kind of pretty simple. Blizzard had a job listing up for a very short period of time that has now been removed, but it consisted of very particular information that kind of confirms all this speculation. So I quote, "Blizzard Entertainment is seeking an experienced Unity mobile client engineer to work on an unannounced MMO RTS project." So it's exactly what we said. So it's super safe to assume that something is in the works. Unity is the same engine that Hearthstone Mobile is based off of, and I'm just not too sure kind of exactly what the RTS would be. Maybe it would be based off of Warcraft 3, or maybe something more watered down and accessible to the masses, kind of like what what Clash of Clans did. But honestly, there's so many possibilities and various things that Blizzard could try. It would take forever to kind of sit here and talk about them, but it is 100% safe to assume that something is on the way for the mobile market. Anyways, moving away from our only solid piece of evidence, we're going to explore what else could be possible, starting off with a single-player game. So this is kind of a small possibility, but it's always a possibility because Blizzard has never done this before. Jeff Kaplan himself was actually quoted saying something very particular. So during an interview, Jeff basically said, "Oftentimes it gets asked of us, why don't you guys just stop doing this other stuff and just make the PvE campaign for the game?" This was about Overwatch. And then he goes on to say, "We would love to, and that's very compelling to us when we think about it. But that's probably like making a brand new game for us. That's a significant amount of work. I'm not sure our fans realize that it would constitute a brand new game. Whether or not we should be making that game, I think that's a great question, and that's something we'll continue to take feedback and talk with one another about. This is great because it doesn't eliminate the possibility. For me personally, something I would truly love to see is an Overwatch campaign based on the world and the story of all the various characters that they have built. It has so much potential, and man, if I even think of the idea, I get pretty damn excited. I mean, We see these yearly events that they're not very fleshed out gameplay wise, but they always give us an awesome cutscene and a piece of story that everyone truly enjoys, and those animated shorts that come along with them always get us so excited and wanting more. This just goes to show the involvement people are ready to give if more of this world came to life. And the more content that comes out, the more we'll enjoy and the more that we'll feel hyped about it. I personally think if Blizzard really goes through with this on an Overwatch campaign, it will be a hit success. Something else important is that even though Jeff is quoted saying it'd be its own game, it honestly doesn't dismiss the fact that it could still be in the Overwatch universe. It would definitely be its own paid piece of content, but I don't think anyone would be expecting otherwise for a full-fledged story campaign and a bunch of new content. For me personally, this is what I want the most, and I'll continue to keep my fingers crossed for something like this to happen. There is something else I did want to mention, is that Blizzard was looking for a new senior game designer, and it was quoted that they were looking for someone with experience in developing weapons, abilities, and gameplay systems in action or first-person shooter games. Now, this is a bit of a stretch since Overwatch fits that category as a first-person PvP game, but it's still something I wanted to say and keep noted throughout the video, since it could be just someone to add on to the Overwatch team, or add on to the potential Overwatch 2, or maybe add on to a whole new genre. Nonetheless, piece of evidence I wanted to put out there. Okay, now something else we have to address is Battle Royale. Now, I know, it's oversaturated and it's getting very, very old. The thing is, however, is the likes of PUBG Mobile and Fortnite are still some of the biggest games in the industry, and there's no shying away from the fact that the genre has blown up and is now a steady chart. This on top of the fact that Blizzard actually really loves to take popular genres and have their own super polished and fleshed out spin on things, at the cost of being really late to the party. It's actually possible that they really are working on a battle royale and just kind of putting on their own ideas for it. Obviously, it's speculation, but from a business standpoint and a market approach, it's definitely possible. I, for one, wouldn't be that hyped for a battle royale, as it's grown very old in my book, but maybe, just maybe, if Blizzard is able to put a massive twist on the game and truly make it unique, then it could draw me in. They'd really have to work hard to make it special. However, if they do, I wonder if it'd be in the Overwatch universe or something completely different, and if it is in the Overwatch universe, I wonder how could they do it. Rebalance characters to make it kind of like Apex Legends? I honestly have no idea, but if you guys do have a creative way on how you could make a battle royale Blizzard style, leave it in the comments down below. Now, some of the last possibilities are of course just straight up sequels, which isn't too far-fetched in most cases. Things like Warcraft 4, Diablo 4, StarCraft 3, or any expansion for Overwatch, perhaps a whole different game altogether in the Overwatch universe is all possible. Now, something connected to Overwatch isn't really unlikely, since we've already seen Blizzard really push Overwatch as a title into stuff like Lego, cereal, merch, and various other things. It's become a strong brand for the company, and I guess we'll just have to see what happens. Notice for a lot of my points I'm kind of sort of repeating myself when I say Overwatch universe, and this is because the game is being pushed very hard by Blizzard as an esports title, meaning something like Overwatch 2 simply doesn't make sense as they continue to update the existing game, meaning if we really want more Overwatch, it'll be something like Overwatch Story Mode, or some other game like Overwatch Battle Royale. I think something like that. I don't think we're going to see Overwatch with a big number 2 on it. At least it just doesn't make sense to me. Imagine League of Legends 2. It doesn't make sense. It'd be interesting to see a new Diablo or Warcraft, and I truly wonder how they'd go about creating them. For me personally, I'm hoping for something related to Overwatch, but we can't cut out the old genres, or not really old, but the other very popular genres such as Diablo and Warcraft. With that being said, what would you guys be most excited for? More Overwatch, more Warcraft, a different game altogether, or maybe you like the idea of an RTS game right on your mobile phone? Let me know down below and let's open up a discussion. I really love reading your replies, and this is a great topic to talk about. Anyways, as always, if you did enjoy the video, hit the like button and subscribe for some future content. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys later.